Bust out the cake and party hats because 2025 is a banner year for some major automotive birthdays and milestones. From silver, gold, and platinum anniversaries to some solid in-betweeners, we got some surprising rides to talk about in this Casual Fridays video feature. We made a list of our 10 favorite vehicles below. Want to see them? Well, let's light some birthday candles. Didn't think we'd start here, did ya? Yeah, the humble AMC Pacer was born in 1975, which means 2025 is its golden anniversary. Look, you can snicker all you want, but this trusty AMC is a really underrated vehicle in our opinion. Its quirky fishbowl and those asymmetric doors are a big part of the charm and practical appeal here, maximizing space in a compact car segment that, at the time, wasn't really known for being roomy. Better still, it had plenty of features like an integrated roll bar and a wider track that set safety and handling benchmarks for the era. So yeah, cue the Bohemian Rhapsody and wish the Pacer a happy 50th. Okay, so if we're being pedantic, the Z32 Nissan Z car generation actually came out in 1989, but it arrived on US shores model. So considering we'll make any excuse to talk about the 300ZX, we're giving the Z32 its 35th birthday present this year. There are plenty of reasons to like the Z32, from its tech-heavy four-wheel steering system to the race-prep versions that took home an impressive amount of motorsports accolades, particularly a class win at the 1994 running of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. But for us, it's all about T-tops, twin turbos, and taillights. All things that put posters of the 300ZX on the walls of gearhead bedrooms for the past 35 years. It's tough to remember a time before the S197, and for folks who weren't gearheads during that era, it's even tougher to describe how jaw-dropping that new retro-styled Mustang was when it debuted. But yet, that design was released for the 2005 model year, making it officially 20 years old. Still though, the S197 has aged like wine, straight axle and all, and many folks credit this particular Mustang generation with reigniting the muscle car wars that soon resurrected not only the Camaro, but also the Dodge Challenger. And lest we forget that later versions even brought back the fabled 5.0 badge on the fender, thanks to the newly minted Coyote V8. And it all began 20 years ago, when the first S197s hit the street. Ah, the IROC Z, the official patch layer of high school parking lots across the country. Well, it's practically synonymous with the entire third-gen Camaro family. It didn't really start wearing the iconic IROC Z rocker sticker until 1985, in honor of the Camaro's continued use in the International Race of Champions series. Positioned even higher than the vaunted Z28, the IROC package added an enhanced suspension along with an upgraded TPI system poached from the Corvette. All told, the IROC Z was the lowest, fastest, and most agile Camaro you could get at the time. And now, even at 40 years old, we'd still love to jam some Def Leppard in the tape deck and go for a ride. Though heavily derived from the M38A1 military vehicle released in 1953, the civilian Jeep CJ5 wasn't offered until 1955, making it officially 70 years old. But still, 7 decades later, the CJ5 still carries an impressive legacy. After all, it has the longest production run of any CJ generation, and better still, there really wasn't that much of a visual difference between the original 1955 models and that 1983 versions that bookended its incredible career. In many ways, the CJ5 set the standard for the way a Jeep would look from here on out, and its rounded fenders and slotted grille would be used on later CJs well into the 1980s. And it all started back in 1955. Happy 70th, CJ5. Given that the Plymouth Barracuda debuted even before the Mustang did way back in 1964, it's easy to overlook the fact that Dodge didn't bring the Challenger to the pony car party until 1970. Part of that delay was to help Dodge figure out the market. Carefully positioned upscale from the Barracuda, the Challenger was slightly larger and better appointed than its Plymouth cousin, which helped lure potential buyers away from the more refined pony cars like the Mercury Cougar and the Pontiac Firebird. But that didn't stop Dodge from cramming in a nice mix of engines, up to and including the 426 Hemi. And let's not forget to mention the TA homologation special made for Trans Am racing either. Not bad for a car that's pushing 55 years old. The name Tri5 refers to the Chevy passenger cars made from 1955 to 1957, designs that would be so iconic that if you ask someone to picture a car from the 1950s, there's a good chance they're thinking about a Tri5 Chevy. And now sure, we could go on and on about the classic 1955 shoebox Chevy style and design language. What a lot of folks overlook is that the 1955 passenger car lineup also brought us the soon-to-be ubiquitous small-block Chevy engine. The humble 265 SBC first met the gearhead world back in 1955, making both it and the earliest Tri5 Chevys now 70 years old. And we're willing to bet we'll be seeing plenty of them both for the next 7 decades too. To prove that Kenosha could go toe-to-toe with Detroit in the growing muscle car wars, AMC unleashed the machine 55 years ago in 1970. Starting with its Rebel midsize, AMC plunked the AMX's 390 under its hood. That hot power plant was good for 340 horsepower, and when combined with a T10 4-speed, drivers could cut mid-14s in the quarter and hit top speeds approaching 120 miles per hour. Sadly, the Rebel machine was a one-year-only offering just for 1970, and AMC historians estimate that fewer than 2,300 Rebel machines left the AMC factory, but the ones that remain are celebrating 55th birthdays in 2025. The Buick GSX is an interesting branch of the GS family tree. First released in 1970, the GSX shares a birthday with the aforementioned Rebel machine, yet unlike the AMC, the GSX was able to soldier on for a few more years before fading away with the rest of the golden era muscle cars. The GSX was built on the famed GS Stage 1 package and gave buyers a host of suspension and appearance upgrades. Subtle, it was not. Equally not subtle was the GSX's 455 cubic inch big block that made a whopping 510 foot-pounds of torque, a number that wouldn't be bested until the Dodge Viper showed up decades later with 2 extra cylinders. Not bad for a 55-year-old car, right? Okay, astute Corvette aficionados will likely point out that the fabled ZR1 package is actually celebrating 2 birthdays in 2025. Yep, the OG ZR1 package debuted in 1970 and offered some more hardcore upgrades to the already formidable LT1 engine. You can think of the ZR1 option back then as essentially a grassroots racing starter pack. But the main reason we're bringing up the Corvette ZR1 in the number 1 slot here is the C4 version that debuted in 1990. While this ZR1 had plenty of other performance upgrades, the real magic came from under the hood, where the Corvette featured a dramatically reworked version of the small block Chevy dubbed the LT5. This new engine was very loosely based on the traditional SBC architecture, but featured a host of modifications, namely with its dual overhead cam cylinder head design. When it debuted in 1990, the LT5 made 375 horsepower, but by the end of its production run, that number had swelled past 400. Simply astonishing output for the era. All told, the C4 Corvette ZR1 put the rest of the world on notice, namely the folks in Stuttgart and Milan, that Chevy could build a world-beating sports car that boasted both impressive performance and durability. So if you're keeping track, the Corvette ZR1 is both 55 and 35 years old in 2025. Happy birthdays! So, do you agree with our top 10 list? Did we snub some other major milestone? Do we need to bring some more candles to this party? Let us know if we need to expand the invite list in the comment section on this video. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And in the meantime, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next Casual Fridays feature on the Summit Racing YouTube channel.